i kona kai o pua i ka lai a o he lua e li ke ai me o a ia i kona kai o pua i ka lai a o he lua e li ke ai me o malihi ni mako ia o he i kona i ke kono a ke aloha no mako malihini mako ia oe i kona i ke kono a ke aloha no mako haina ia mai ana ka puana a o he lua e li ke ai me o haina ia mai ana ka puana a o he lua e li ke ai me o e ia ho ino ke o laku ana i ka mauna o alalai alalai no ku a i malu ino ke o la o kona ku ana i anai ho o malu ka palau ha i pu hau i ka o alalai mauna loa palilu au kona kaulana mauna ka he wei i kai oki kai lino lino e au mai lau ino o pu o hau kahi pu i kai kau ino haleki e i au ino ko mako noho ana i kanakau i olau ino ke ola na ku puna e aloha mai. Ku ana ka apuni o in o mako na puna wai o kona. E nana mai lau ino ke o la o ko mako ala au ana i ke ia. No ka pono ke aku. Aloha aloha mai.
Welcome to New Thought Center of Hawaii. We are very blessed today, and I will introduce Kumu in a little bit. But it's wonderful how he brings us in with chant, as is the way of a Kumu. We're very blessed. So I'd just like everyone just to take a moment to, get here, be here, leave out there behind. Uh, we come together as a spiritual family. We're so blessed. Just take a moment to maybe put your feet on the ground and bring your whole being here. Just take a couple of minutes or a minute to do that now. And I'll do the chime when it's time to come back in. So, welcome everyone here on the Lanai to New Thought Center of Hawaii and people in cyberspace. Um, I've been enjoying watching at home a lot. And it's wonderful that we are now been eternalized or whatever. We're on tape. We're on not tape, but whatever. We're up there. We're in the clouds. So you can go back and see other programs you might have missed. And so that's kind of cool. We've got that beautiful archive. That's one of the things that we were gifted from the bad things that happened. So something good, always looking for that silver lining. We are now online. So I'm going to ask Stephen to please come up and read from the Science of Mind. Maybe come back a little bit.
Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm going to read from the. Okay.
You're so tall.
This is from the Guide for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind magazine. Today's reading is Whose reality are you living? Too often we lethargically allow others to have free rent in our heads, and we mindlessly take on their beliefs as our own because we have not invested the time and energy to consider what it is we really do believe. This is by Ernest Holmes. Nearly all people are controlled by outer suggestions and not by inner realizations. Do you ever take the time to contemplate that which you embrace as your truth? And by truth, I mean your reality, the spiritual and core values that shape and color the lens through which you see yourself and the world. The tendency for most human beings in every culture and religion is to assume that what we were told or taught by the authority figures in our lives, such as our parents, teachers, preachers, politicians, and media, is the truth. What I have learned is that we can only actualize our innate truth to the extent we are willing to question authority. Just as the mere notion of this scares many of us because it means challenging our own self worth and perhaps more so the wisdom of those we look to for approval and validation for so many years. Standing in the light of our own truth requires authenticity and character. So if your life is less than joyful, you may find it worthwhile to explore and, if necessary, challenge the truth you hold as your own. Perhaps it's not even yours. Does it resonate with your soul? If you listen intently, you will know in a heartbeat whose truth it is you are living. It's liberating to know it's never too late to excavate a deeper truth, but you will never find it in any other person's opinion of you or the world, because your truth is an intensely personal thing. And examining that truth is always an inside job. So, God is, I am, and so it is. Here's the affirmation for today. I'll read through it once and then we could do it together. Today, I examine the contents and roots of my belief system. If certain beliefs don't honor me and the sacred truth of my being, I lovingly extract, discard, and replace them. So I'll read the first line again. Today, and you can repeat after me. Today, I examine the contents and roots of my belief system. I feel like I'm teaching class. Wow. It is if certain beliefs don't honor me and the sacred truth of my being, I lovingly extract, discard, and replace them.
So now we'd like another song, please. Kumu is ours also. He's doing both jobs today.
Kaulana kokona, kamakani olu olu, paahe ukano, kokona. Kaulana kokona, ikai o puha, ukano e au kuponono, kokona. Kaulana kokona, mahualalai, o kamauna maluno, kokona. Kaulana kokona, ikai maoki oki, o ke kai, kaulana no, kokona. Kaulana kokona, holo holo ka moana, I ka moku lawai ano, kokona. Kaulana kokona, I kai alua, o kano I au kuponono, kokona. Kaulana kokona, ulana ke aloha, o ka hala ulano, kokona. Kaulana kokona, ka heke ihono, ka heke ihono, kokona. Kaulana kokona, hua ka ika o pelu, Makana ia no kokona. Kaulana kokona. Kaheke ihono. Kaheke ihono kokona. Kaheke ihono kokona.
Okay. Okay. Um, that was beautiful. And my name is Jean Love. And a little bit about New Thought. We've evolved through the years. We've been around over 51 years. We started out as a Science of Mind church, which has a beautiful lineage. And we evolved to where we don't really have a minister anymore. And we became a New Thought Alliance with New Thought, which includes unity in many Science of Mind churches. And we are so blessed that we honor all paths to God, knowing that we're all going to the same place and might as well allow others to believe every way they can. And the closer we get to spirit, the more we uplift each other and help each other. So, this is our spiritual family here, and we're so blessed that we get to meet here every week. And if you can't make it here, you can make it to your computer. And we have some lovely things we do. And one of the things we do is miracles and ordinaries. And I've been lucky to be a facilitator for the presenter a few times, but I finally got to see the book. There's a book, and one of the things, one of the things that I really want to share is what Elizabeth Thoreau wrote back in, I don't know when she was president, perhaps, but it's about miracles and ordinaries, which is our next segment. And so think about your miracles and ordinaries as I introduce it. What is a miracle? It's a natural flow of love's power. It is the angel present upon the planet Earth. It is the love that you feel in your own heart. A miracle is mind's definition for love's natural capacity to be. The mind sets up boundaries of reasonable expectation, declares this is a natural order. Love enters and knows no boundaries. The presence of love, which is indeed the only reality that exists, takes all of mind's careful planning and simply blows it to bits. Mind has determined reason comes to this point and can go no further. Love does not even see barriers. When love crashes through mind's familiar understanding of how things ought to be, mind can only cry out, "That's a miracle." No, love answers, "That's just the way I am." When miracles are understood as our birthright, they become ordinaries. To me, the above explanation of a miracle emphasizes this. Thank you, Elizabeth. So, who has a miracle or ordinary that would like to come up and share? And it doesn't have to be, you know, huge, but anyone? Well, I'll share a little one. Maybe that'll get you thinking. So, my eyes, uh, since my last big birthday, they've been kind of going a little south, and I've always had wonderful vision. So I went and had my eyes checked, and yes, I do need glasses, and I don't have cataracts, but wear sunglasses. That's supposed to keep cataracts at bay. But the main thing is, I found out my blood pressure was so high, and that was shocking. So then I have a cup at home too, and I was looking on the internet. What do you do? And of course, I really eat good and I exercise, and anyway, do everything I can. But one of the things that they advertised was this machine. There was like, I don't know, 3 easy payments of 70, whatever. It was. a machine that you just sit with the machine and breathe in and breathe out, and you breathe out longer than you breathe in for 15 minutes a day. I go, well, I can do that without a machine. And so yesterday morning, I got the cuff on, and because I finally had batteries to do it at home. It was 140 over 90. Oh, that's high. That's dangerous. And then I started doing the deep breathing. And the second time I got it down to 120 over 90. And then the third time I got down to 103 over 83 by deep breathing. And I go, wow, I guess the breath is a very important thing. And I know when I'm in pain, I was sharing with Erin as to how I stepped on a bee the other night. It hurt so bad, but I just kept breathing into the pain till I could get the ice on it and take the antihistamine. And I was okay, but breathing deep into your pain, it gets you through. That's something I've learned. But anyway, that I don't know if that's a miracle or ordinary, but our breath is a miracle. So is anybody inspired to share a miracle? Oh, Pasha. All right. She's a team player. We know that. She is a team player and
Well,
beyond.
I have a tendency to worry. And something that was I was worrying about recently is that we're into November already. It's November 6th, and until yesterday I didn't know who was going to present at New Thought Center on the 20th. That's only 2 weeks away. And it just happens occasionally that there's a Sunday that doesn't seem to work for anybody. But I was reminding myself that, I'm not really in charge here. And and I made the affirmation, I am ready to receive the gift. I am ready to receive the gift. I'm ready to receive the gift. And lo and behold, um, this woman who had been approved as a speaker maybe 3-4 years ago, but never actually spoke at New Thought, contacted Terry about renting space. And uh, I kind of remembered her, and um, got in touch with her and told her, well, if you were a Sunday speaker for us, you would automatically have the right to do at least one workshop with, no deposit. And she was so happy. She was thrilled to be able to come and share with us on that particular date. And she interesting background, an improv shaman. I don't know exactly what it means. I mean, she does like somehow spiritual stand-up comedy or something like that.
Woohoo!
Anyway, it was something fun and interesting to look forward to, and she's happy to do it. And so I am so grateful for the gift. Now I think I won't worry so much if that situation comes up again.
Yay. Oh, that's wonderful. How exciting. So we're open to all the beautiful sharings out there, and so we're just so blessed, and I get to have the honor to introduce this amazing Kumu Keala Ching. He's an Hawaiian educator, composer, songwriter, Kumu hula. He lives and breathes aloha into his Hawaiian heritage with his strong presence and his great heart. Growing up on the island of Oahu, Keala Ching began his hula training there. In 1999, he became a practitioner of Ho'oponopono. He's a graduate of University of Hawaii, Manoa, with a degree in early childhood education. He earned a master's degree in education from Chaminade University. He is fluent in the Hawaiian language, which he uses as a foundation for teaching his students. both children and adults. He serves as kumuhula for several haules, including two in Japan and one in Switzerland. And he just got back recently from Switzerland. Kumu has taught keiki and served in other capacities for several schools in the Kona area. Currently, he works at Konawaina Middle School, teaching language and music. He also has a regular column in Keola magazine, which he's lovingly brought us some, so we all get to bring one home. And he's right there, a couple pages in, with his beautiful writings. And I'm so thrilled you're here. We're so honored, and I always get so much from you. Thank you,
Thank
Kumu.
you. Thank you.
Take it away. And
Okay.
I guess I'll kind of move out of the way for now, and then we know you're going to share music and knowledge and beauty with us. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Sure. Ia ho ino ke o la ku I ka mauna ua lalai ka wahine kapu o hawa iloa. No I malama ho ino ki o la uko na o aholo no kuana I Keala ke. Aina o pula pula ino ko uno hoana. Ia ho ino ku malu malu ke aloha ku ana ke aku ka ana mai lau ino ke o lau na ku puna ku ana na kiki o ia wahi ai na I ola mai lau aloha mai. Aloha mai kako, I'm Kumu Keala Ching. In my very first song that I shared with you, as we all come to this beautiful place of Kona, it sort of honors all of the Malihini. Malihini are the newcomers, and they talk about in the song it talks about Kona being such a beautiful place with beautiful clouds. Our clouds are the Opua clouds, and how peaceful they are, and how they reside on the top of our mountain of Hualalai. But what is very, very interesting and clear is that North Kona was called Ahu'olono, and Ahu'olono was a temple of Lono, where the god of peace, the god of agriculture. And then South Kona was referred as Kapalilua. Kapalilua is two cliffs. Well, I've been journeying down and trying to look for these two possible cliffs, but I think the most common thing would be the two hills, which is Mauna Loa and Hualalai. Is it? I'm not sure. Still researching on it. But the South Kona would be called Palilua, the two cliffs. And it is there that from Ka'u, which is a Ka'u system, the Ohana system of Hawaii, that many of the Ali'i began, or the chief began in the Ka'u region. And then we, of course, know the region up in Kohala, most famous is Paia Kamehameha. Paia, the young child that was born of Keopuolani, a very sacred child, was rushed up into Avini in the district of Kohala. And we shared that there's an influence of Kohala people and Kau people here in the district of Kona. So in the song, and as it shares Malihini, today we know Malihini as the newcomers. Like I'm a Malihini of Kona because my grandfather left Kona. He left Kona to find a better life, he thought, in Oahu. So I was born and raised in Oahu in a district that's called Nanakuli. And recently, I say 22 years now, have returned back to Kona, to the land of my ancestors. And talking about that reading, about knowing if we're living our truth, and exchanging cards. I would never exchange any cards that I've been dealt so far, living on this beautiful island of Hawaii, connecting to the stories of my ancestors has been such a beautiful gift. So I've been seeing the truth and in many, many levels. One that I would like to share is that my niece, I've been getting her. She's in the Hawaiian immersion program, and in the Hawaiian immersion program, they don't teach formal English. They don't teach formal math until the age or the grades of 5. So at home, this is our job. Our job is to get them almost equal on the same level at the same time in their school. It's Hawaiian language, Hawaiian philosophy, Hawaiian history, Hawaiian culture that is and should be taught in her school up here in Kona. The school is Kekula o Ehunui Kaimalino. So I've been helping my niece and encouraging her how to utilize her English packets, her math packets, and she's been progressing very, very well. And I was very proud of her, having her to balance the Hawaiian language and the English language at home. And it was very encouraging because this past Monday, I had our student conference at Konawaina Middle School. And so I left her on my desk and she sort of just did her whole ha'avina, her lesson all day. She had 7 little packets. And the way she did it, she figured it out and she got it done. So last night, we were telling her, please, her mom and I was saying, get your lessons done. So she procrastinated. And so when we got to the Kona Town night market, I was doing the blessing there. She saw the booth where all the kids could go and play. And because she didn't finish her lesson, because she procrastinated, she couldn't participate. And so she started crying and getting all upset. And she slammed her phone on the table and ran away. And a typical 7-year-old child. So, of course, I'm still in my realm of chanting. And she comes and she pulls on me and she says, Uncle, I want to paint my face. And I goes, why didn't you go there first? I couldn't. Why? You could have gone straight there, get your face painted. But she didn't tell me that her mother told her because you didn't finish your lesson, you couldn't go into that keiki realm. So I told her, there'll be another time. Let's go discuss it at home. She goes, no, uncle. So I took her to the car and she said the most horrible words to her mother that got me so upset that I got immediately out of my spirit and just yelled at her as an elder, yelling at a 7 year old child. The community is looking and saying, "Oh my gosh, he just blessed this whole event, and now he's yelling at this child." And I was about to just do the unthinkable, and I just stepped back and I said, "Get in the car." So she got in the car. I explained to her that we don't say those words. Those words are not, there's not good words. And these words that she said, that I had to tell her to rethink the words. I said, because she says to me, I am so angry. I am so mad at my mom. And I goes, okay, the Hawaiian words to that is, O kahuhu Kamea i ho'ola oleai, which means hu is anger, ho'ola is healing, ole is no. So o kahuhu kamea i ho'ola oleai, which means anger never brings healing. But if we take those words and said, okay, what is the balance of anger? And so I shared with her, O ke aloha ka mea I ho ola'ai. It is the words and the values of aloha that is so important that today we struggle. We struggle with these words because we take what is affecting us in our environment, just like what the reading of the mind, science mind has said. Our environment is putting these, or free rent, as I heard it. They're free rent in your mind, and that they're taking over your thoughts and becoming your belief. And this is what I was explaining to my niece. And of course, I wanted to reach out and touch her, but I said, allow my words, allow my words to try and do my best. So I said, you know, aloha. Aloha is so important. Aloha is about perseverance, to continue, to really focus on what this anger is and get rid of it. Change the card as it was read. Change the card of this angerness. And she always comes up to me and goes, I said, you better think about what you need to do. And it's because I taught her sorry means nothing if you don't change your actions. And I say this because as a young child, you're playing in the playground, you hit someone, the teacher or the adults will say, now tell him sorry, tell him sorry. And of course, the kid tells them sorry, goes down to the next place, boom, hit him again. What did that sorry do? It didn't do anything. So now she has to go over there, now tell him you sorry. So I said, no, sorry means most when you change your actions. And this is what is so important. And so after I finished my discussion, we went to have dinner, and she sits on the edge of the chair. She doesn't want to talk to me. So she figures she stands up. She puts her head on my shoulders. I ignore her. I ignore her. And then she comes and she sits on my knee, and I was ignoring her. She's grabbing my hands, wants me to put her my hands around. I'm ignoring her. So I put my hand on the chair. She grabs my hand and she kind of cradles her in. I goes, Helena, what's wrong? Uncle, I need to change my actions. I was just really angry and I need to figure out how to get rid of my anger and really think about what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And I said, oh, okay. You know, as I shared earlier, I wanted to reach out and touch her, but needed to allow the words to really, really help. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about, the word aloha, and the words that I shared with her about. Of course, aloha means many, many things. And I was blessed and have been blessed to be able to write in Keola magazine for almost 15 years now. And in the magazine has the words that I'm going to be sharing. So if you want to go and grab a magazine or pass out the magazine on the web, you might want to just Google Keola magazine. I'm sure it's there. It is the Aloha chant that I shared with my students almost 19 years ago. And what I wanted them to really realize is, what does aloha mean? And as I've been sharing with my 7-year-old niece, it's about being to always persevere. The word is akahai, and akahai is to persevere. We persevere in the most sense of gentleness, being gentle, to know how to work and live and do your best, focused upon this akahai, the word akahai, which is the first letter A in aloha. Now, these values that come, of course, has been spoken here, um, one or two times, but it is the value that was shared by Auntie Pilahi Paki. She, of course, born in the island of Maui, and she attended a beautiful conference about what would Hawaii look in the 21st century. And the main topic at the time was the word aloha. So, of course, everyone had their ideas of what aloha would look like in the 21st century. And this kupuna stood up, Antipilahi Paki, and she began to share these words that I've placed in a chant. The word, of course, akahai. So we say, e akahai e. Repeat after me. E akahai e. One more time. E akahai e. E akahai e. Yep. So we're going to repeat. I'll say it first. You say it next. E akahai e. E akahai e. So I write it in chant so the kids understand, oh yeah, the word aloha is akahai. Akahai means I need to do my best to persevere. Persevere in the most gentle form. The next word that Antipilahi Paki shares is lo kahi. Say lo kahi. Lo kahi is a relationship, and our relationship is our relationship with spirit, our relationship with people, and our relationship with the land. What is our relationship, and how are we working on that? What is it that we and how we are connected, and what the land does for you as you do for you? What does people do for you as you do for them? How about the spirit? What does the spirit do for you as you do for the spirit? And this is what lokahi is. So we say, e lokahi ku, e lokahi ku. Yeah, and lokahi ku is to be firm, strong in this relationship, in your connection. And finding that connection is really, really important so that you are able to clean out those renters inside. I'm just bringing relevance. We got to get those renters out. So we begin from the top. E akahai e lo kahi ku. One more time. E akahai e lo kahi ku. So Antipilahi Paki continues with the letter O and utilizes olu olu. She speaks olu olu. Olu olu is being very pleasant. And these are the words that she shares. However, in our school, and I say the school of Kuhai Halo, and Kuhai Halo is a school that was given to my mentor, Kawai Kapu Kalani Hewitt, by his mentor, Auntie Emma DeFries. And Auntie Emma DeFries was one of the last noted, recognized kahuna by the state of Hawaii. And her protege was Kawai Kapu Kalani Hewitt. So as the state recognized Auntie Emma, of course, is from Hawaii Island. She, of course, gave the school Kuhai Halau Kawai Kapu'ukalani Pa Olapakahiko, which is the name of Lehua Kawai Kapu'ukalani Hewitt's Halau. And it is the Academy of Kawai Kapu'ukalani. Well, he used the word Oya I'o. Oya I'o is the truth. And as our reading has shared earlier from the science of mind, we have to know the truth, live the truth, and clear the truth so that we are able to understand what is our truth. And so, Oya I'o is truly what we're striving for to find and know the truth. So we say, Oya I'o no. Oya I ono. And Oya I ono means indeed. The truth is what we truly need. That's what is aloha, the truth. So we begin from the top. E akahai e lo kahiku. Oya I ono. Yeah, and the most important thing is being very, very humble. So she continues, Auntie Pilahi continues with the word, the letter H. And she said, Ha'aha'a. Ha'aha'a is to be very humble. Yeah, to be very humble. And when we were talking about miracles and audience, I was like, it was really hard to figure out for me what is an audience and what is a miracle, because it is true, we live this, we live everything. But I did have a story talking about our blood pressure. I went to Switzerland, and before I left, I went to my doctors. I say, hey, my blood pressure is really high. High was 165 over 111. So she tells me, Kumu, we're gonna prescribe one more blood pressure pill. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So, four blood pressure pills traveling with me to Switzerland because I have to be safe. I'm far away from the core, my island. So I said yes, but at the same time, eating well because my student is a vegetarian. I exercise because I need to. I'm dancing hula. So I think I got everything in its order. So I go, my student gets me the cuff and reading it every day. I think the stress was because I was stressful reading it. I was so stressed. The thing was at least 145 over 110 every morning. But I tell you something. As soon as I was done for the day, I would have a glass of gin and sparkling water, just one glass. And my student made sure one glass. Kumu. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm cool. One glass is fine. So it was a struggle the first day, struggle, one glass, but I did it. Second day, one glass, I did it. By the end, I was like cool with one glass. My blood pressure went down to 133 over 89. So I was like, I'm getting gin. I'm going to talk to this doctor and I'm going to say, you need to prescribe at least a glass of gin for me. But that is not what I'm promoting. But knowing that that was something that really helped me to stay calm, bring my blood pressure down so I can get back home. This is really, really important. And then after all of that hard work, my blood pressure now is stable with only three medicines because I threw the other one out. Um, and so my blood pressure is now 130 over 88. So it's manageable. It's not perfect, but it's manageable. Um, I've been breathing, so that was something that we need to really work on. So again, being humble is trying to figure out what is a miracle and what is an ordinance. Yeah, because we live this life, and it's really really hard for me to sit here and all these accolades are being read to tell who I am. It's just really not comfortable, but I know everyone appreciate it. But I'm grateful that I'm here to be able to share. So that's ha'a humbleness. So we say ha'a e. So from the top, e akahai e lo kahiku o ya I ono ha'a e. And that we have the most greatest gift that our people have been given, and this is patience. And it says ahonui, ahonui, ahonui. So I made it three times because we have to remember to be very, very patient. As much as I wanted to reach out and touch my little niece at 7, ahonui, ahonui, ahonui. To be very, very patient. And at the end, we say aloha because all of those values is what aloha is all about. And Auntie Pilahi Baki shares all four of these five, as I shared the olu olu, but Kumukawai Kapu shared oya I or the truth because it's important to be patient and work on the truth. So we do the whole chant. E akahai e lo kahiku oya I o no ha a ahonui 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 aloha e akahai e lo kahiku oya I o no ha a ahonui 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 aloha. And then we normally seal the chant with three claps. One, two, three. Yeah. So that's how we seal the the unison of the chant. So we say e akahai e lo kahiku oya I o no ha ahonui 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 aloha. And that's the story of aloha. So whenever you see something and someone just zoom past you, just think of this chant. E akahai e lokai ku e oia I ono ha e ahonui 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 aloha. And then you can relax yourself and know that was truly not aloha. And as we are, I don't want to say blessed, but we are, because all of these newcomers are coming and they assume this word aloha, not knowing what the truth of aloha is all about. So when someone comes to me and they say, "Well, where's the aloha?" I goes, "That was the aloha, because that's the aloha you know." As I shared with you, aloha aku, what you give, aloha mai is what you receive. So if you give off anger, you're going to get it because that's what you know, aloha. And so by today, we should know what aloha is all about. And aloha means to persevere. Persevere in what you need to do. And if it is, as we say today, clean out all those renters, then that's what you need to persevere. Clean out those renters. Of course, finding that relationship, understanding what these renters are doing. Yeah, because you got to recognize that because another person's going to come and at least you recognize what the renters look like. So you just don't accept that renter. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is what I was trying to help my niece to understand that anger, you got to really understand it to know what you need to do. So, my last story I'll share, we got a call from the school about my little niece. And she said, "Oh, Kumu Velu talking to the mom because they know don't talk to Kumu Keala. Don't talk to him." So I just so happened got in the car and hearing this message that Helena will be in detention for 5 days because she threw a boy's folder over the fence. So I said to her, really strong, "What happened?" And she said, well. And I said, "You better tell me the truth." Well. And I said, "No, no, 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 no. I want to know what happened." "Well, uncle, he came and he said something to me and I didn't really like it. And I threw his folder off." And I said, "Okay, but Helena, what's happening now is you're going to detention because of the actions of what happened at that moment. What I want to know is what happened before this book went like this. That's what I want to know. I want to know before this book went over, what happened? And she goes, well, uncle, I pinched him. And I goes, okay, you pinched him, huh? And what did he say? And he said, bullshit. And I said, pinch, bullshit, pinch, bullshit. It doesn't add up, Helena. What did he say? That's what he said. That's what he said, uncle. That's what he said. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to call the school. So I called the school and I said, oh, Tita, I want to know what happened to my little niece. Oh, Kumu. This is what we heard. Said Helena and these group of kids were playing and she grabbed a sixth grader's binder and she threw the sixth grader's binder over the fence. And I said, sixth grade? Are you kidding me? No. And I goes, okay, what happened? And this is what Oya Iwa is all about. What happened before this binder went over? Well, they have no idea what happened. And I said, well, I need to know what happened before this girl gets into detention because this is not good for me. Yes, you're right, Kumu. We will not put her in detention. And I goes, okay, mahalo nui. And so we figured out what had happened. And I said, no. And she asked me to come and talk to the kids. And I goes, no, I scheduled to come down on Wednesday to come and speak. But I said to her, I don't feel comfortable speaking with this sixth grader because his parents are not there. And I don't want to do that. But I want to be able to share with everyone about what Malamapoki'i is all about. And Malamapoki'i is the older should take care of the younger. So the sixth grader should have been trained in the right sense that if a young child is getting on his nerve, he needs to go and find someone else or redirect this child. And so I would love to come and speak about that versus speaking directly to this boy because I don't think that is right. I wouldn't want someone to speak directly to Helena without me there. So I don't think that's good. So she says, yes, Kumu, yes, we can bring you back and we can get you to speak. And I said, okay. So that problem has been put to the side now. And now we're just helping Helena to work on her decisions and her choices, which is really, really exciting, And, we have to, again, go back to our reading this morning. Are we, putting truth, our own truth, upon the young people? And are we trying to get them to live our lives? And, I always tell Helena, I goes, these are the options. And of course, with a young child, it's like a candy store. Like, which one should I pick? And I said, these are the options, Helena. You make the best option. She goes, I'm having a hard time, Uncle. I said, don't rush. We're gonna need to figure out which, option is the best for you. So when I started to hear the reading, I was like, oh my goodness, am I getting this child so stressed out that we're trying to put the best foot forward for her. And is it her dream or am I renting? So I have to really figure out. I don't want to be a renter, but I want to be a person that is able to guide her. And having this beautiful words of aloha is certainly a way to help guide our children and helping them to make their own decision as as we sit here and ponder upon the words, the lesson, um, the chant, everything. We have to figure out, are we going to get our renters out or not? So let's chant one more time. E akahai e, elo kahiku, oya I ono, ha'a ha'a e, ahonui, 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 aloha. Good. Any questions? Anyone? No, yes. Um, I think I know what you're trying to say, but I think it's very impactful. A renter is very, very impactful. Other than that, I would say, for us, a renter becomes because we like that environment, we like that we kind of take it in. Um, and but for me, I would say the term I would use is maha'oi. Maha'oi is the nosy one that wants you to follow them. That's maha'oi. Yeah. So the maha'oi is kind of coming in and figuring out what you're doing and how I can change your mind and then take you and influence you. That's maha'oi. That's maha'oi. You're not supposed to do that. You need to really understand who you are, and that connection to that maha'oi word is ni'ele. So ni'ele is inquisitive. Yeah, and sometimes our maha'oi renters are inquisitive renters. Then they turn to maha'oi. So these words work in conjunction. They work together. So that's where it's really, really important to understand who's being maha'oi and who's being truthfully and authentically genuine um, ni'ele, to be an inquisitive mind. Yeah. So I like that word renter because they only renting, whereas a maha'oi, they can stay for a long time. They stay for a long time. Yeah. But yeah, maha'oi would be some of the words. Olu olu. Olu olu is pleasant, to always be pleasant. And I believe that's where the gentleness comes in as well, in how you do it. And I would say go up and Google. There's a beautiful tribute, a video about what I just shared with you about Auntie Pilahi Paki. And you just go and Google Pilahi Paki and this beautiful video tribute from one of her students, Mo Keale. Mo Keala was one of our entertainers, and he passed at a very young age as well. So he pays tribute to his teacher. Yeah, Pilahi Paki. Any other questions? Yes. Yes, you're welcome. So the thought was, if you cyberspace have not heard, the notice have been worldwide the term hate. And that was the word that was shared by my little niece to her mother. And to me, I just wanted to wash her mouth with chili pepper water. And but of course, that's so barbaric. Um, so I washed it out with so much aloha and, shared with her, on making better choice words. And um, so, yeah, in this very beautiful video that was a tribute to Auntie Pilahi Paki, she shares that the world will look upon Hawaii for help. And the word aloha is truly what we all need to understand. But we need to understand the deeper sense of the word aloha. Because right now, as those that are gravitating to the word aloha, we only know aloha as hello, goodbye, I love you, and that's all that is known. And we know that aloha is so much deeper. And if we find that aloha is a deeper sense, then we can conquer a lot of things. And a lot of that is really about understanding. And this is where I I share about aloha aku, aloha mai. I can only give what I know. And if I only know that aloha means hello, goodbye, I love you, that's all I can give. But if I know that aloha has a deeper sense of relationship to who I am, a relationship to what my spirit is, relationship to the land, living truthfully or with so much pleasant, being humble, with lots of patience, then I know that I can understand more of what I can give and share. And that's what aloha aku, aloha mai is. And I take lead as your words, Andor, about how a lot of our youth are struggling. And our youth struggle because no one understands them. And that's where this term hate really builds up because people don't understand each other. And once we begin to understand each other, we certainly will live a better life, simply a peaceful life at that as well. But understanding is really, really helpful. I share with one of my colleagues. She's in the high school level. She just started. Her name is Kanani Wa, Auntie's daughter-in-law, and Auntie Patty's daughter-in-law. And we've been kind of sharing ideas. And she shared with me, Keala, we're gonna need to work on a lot of these kids in high school so that they don't fall through the cracks during graduation. Normally, the school waits a month before the kids graduate to try and catch them and try and get them caught up. Well, she was brought in, Kanini was brought in to find ways to get those kids on task so that when they go and graduate, they can graduate peacefully without being so stressed. So this is Kanani's job there in Konawaina High School. And so I went over and I told her, these kids, the problem with them is they're not being understood. And she goes, you're right, Kumu. I goes, that's why they're acting out. They're acting out because no one understands them. But I said, take the word. What does the word mean? And she looked at me and she said, understand? I just got to understand. No, look at the word. She goes, okay. And I goes, the word says to stand under. If you can stand under, that is, you're submitting yourself to hearing what is being shared. Yeah. So it's almost relaxing, submitting yourself so that you can hear what they're saying. So, under, you got to stand under it to understand. You cannot stand above it because if you stand above it, then you're in this aggressive fight. This is where hate becomes. because you're understanding each other by just fighting and fighting, fighting. But if you stand under it, then you can be able to open up and hear what is actually being communicated. And so she said, "Oh my gosh, I have to go home and think about this one." So I said, "It's really simple. If you understand the word understand, just stand under it. And by standing under it is allow yourself to hear what they're trying to say, understand what they're trying to do." And I say this because in my class, I have this one boy, he never turns in no writing. And I ask him, "It's a matter of just putting one X in the block." "Oh, Kumu, yeah, I put all the blocks, but I have to write on the bottom." And I said, "No, you just have to come out to me and tell me what you're thinking." "I can do that, Kumu." I goes, "Just for you, because I know it's hard for him to write, even on a piece of paper." He tells me, "Kumu, I cannot spell." His eighth grade. And I said, "Okay, just do your best. I'm a good reader." So he writes everything, and I can translate every single word he's saying. And I'm like, cool with it. And then he's in my hula class. He goes, "Como? So I have to write what this word means? The dance?" I goes, "Yeah." They say, "Como? This is what the dance mean. You put your leg out, you put your leg out, you put your leg out." And I goes, "Great. You just got a A." And to me, it's a matter of understanding how they communicate. Once you can communicate with these kids, they're the fabulous kids. But we gotta know. We gotta submit our we gotta change. They call it differentiation of curriculum. That means making it a little bit more simpler. That's what they call it. But to me, it's just understanding them. Understand these kids. So I get all these 504s, 503s, 805 ABCs in my class for all these kids. And I'm like, I don't want them. I want to know this kid, not because of their 504, 806, ABCs. I want to know what the kid can do. So I tell them, don't come in my class with all these ideas of how to help these kids. I goes, I know how because I stand under to understand what they're doing. And they tell me, but this boy doesn't want to sit in class. He sits in my class. But this boy doesn't want to do any writing. He finished all his writing. Yakumo, what are you doing? And I goes, talking to him. That's all I'm doing. Just talking to him. And then, of course, he sees because I, I feed my kids. I feed my kids any type of food. Any food that comes to my class, I feed them. Why? We have to nurture the mind. And through their stomachs, we do it really easy. So I make sure I have lots of food. So if you have food, drop them off at Kumu's class so that I can feed them. But yeah, every time we go on field trips, I take my kids on field trips, I feed them, um, and produce lots of good, educated students. So, any other question? All right. So let's do our last chant one more time, and then we're going to progress with our program. E akahai e, e lo kahiku, o ya I o no, ha a e, ahonui, 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 aloha. So again, the word, the chant means aloha. If you have a friend that is visiting you, certainly share the chant the best that you know how, whether you read it, whether you chant it, whether you sing it. The more you begin to use the chant in the rightful way, um, I encourage you, if you're down at the ocean, utilize that in appreciation to the ocean, to the land. Um, just know that these are the words for aloha. So mahalo nui. Ke aloha mai. Ke akua. Yamako. A e ho o mai ka I mai ho I. Yamako. A e ho o malama mai. Ko na maka Yamako. Ko na maka Yamako.
Woo. Thank you so much. I always get so much when you share with us, and I think you make us all better people. And that sweet Helena just got that fire in her, you know? That fire. Sometimes it's hard with the keiki, the fire. So much energy, yeah?
So much.
So much energy. So, Pasha reminded me, I forgot to ask if anyone was new here today. And if you would mind sharing your name and where you're from. Frank, Captain Cook. I saw you in the water last night and you are here. I thought that was you, Frank. Thank you. You look a little different. We were kind of out in the water watching the sunset last night in Keala Bay. And I told Frank that Kumu was going to be here today. And he was like, I'm there. So thank you so much, Frank, for coming. We're so happy to have you here. And Sonia, and where are you from? Down in Calicut. Well, welcome for coming. We are always, our doors are open, always for new people to come and share in our ohana. And Evelyn's here from
Mm.
Oregon, Jeff's friend. Thank you, Evelyn, for coming. We're so appreciative, and it's so wonderful to have us staying open and having new people come. And it's we have so much to offer, and it's wonderful to have people here to enjoy it. And so, I will do the coming things, and then I will after pass the bowl and have Kumo do another song for us when I pass the bowl. So coming up, we start at 10, as you know, and we have live stream, and you can watch that free. And we have free childcare, but please let us know at least by the Friday before so that we have a caregiver here for the children. So next week is Linda Weiss and Anne Inaba's special gifts and music by Dick Franklin. And then on the 20th, we have Kaylee Simmonsberg Burger. I'm sorry if I've said that wrong. The topic is to be announced, and the music's by Darby Partner. And then on the 27th, we have Dr. Maria Mann, who's an amazing yoga teacher, and she's also going to talk about the children of the rainbow, the art waves, and the new peace paintings that she does with the children to help them and help our community. And so that's our next 3 weeks. And so every week, this is starting again tomorrow. Janan Wong, who's an amazing Tai Chi teacher, will be starting again tomorrow. It's $15 per class or a monthly rate of $48. And we need at least 5 people or we will not continue. He's an amazing teacher. I was so thrilled to take a few classes from him. He's very, very good, and make sure you're doing it properly. He's very patient, and he's a wonderful Tai Chi teacher. So please come tomorrow uh, at 4:30 if you are interested. A monthly, we have a produce giveaway at the end, the very last service of the month, and it's amazing. We had mangoes and comb and tangerines and bananas. And it's like the best farmers market in the world because we're just trading and giving to each other, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing for us to do every month. We used to do potlucks, but we're not there yet. So the first Sunday of the month is a pre-service healing meditation with the crystal bowls, and that's at 8:30 to 9 in the Hanua room. And the next one's December 4th. And we're gonna have a special, um, well, not us, but the Thanksgiving Interfaith Concert is happening this year on a Monday, and we didn't get to do it this year. I'm sorry. We've done it many, many years. It's been wonderful to be in that interfaith concert, but I highly recommend you come because it's so uplifting to see so many different churches coming together and being Ohana together. And that's really what we need to do, I believe. And that's up at the end of Laco Street. Please bring some canned food if you can, or some money for the food basket. And then Thursday, Thanksgiving, we'll do a potluck here at New Thought Center. And then Saturday, the 10th, is a meditation class with Maria Ojala, and that is from 10 a.m. to 12:30. And we have many service opportunities if you'd like to come and volunteer to be a greeter or help set up or clean up or do the technical, which um, Pomakai, thank you, did that today for us. And thank you, Terry, for always coming as a greeter. And Patty always brings lays, and we've got an amazing team here. Pasha, she's keeps us all going and keeps everything kind of happening. So w- she's fantastic. So we're so lucky. So we've got the if you're a workshops facilitator, you get to help with the logistics in the event, and then you get to do the workshop for free. And then we're going to need people help with celebrating and decorating. So if you are interested in any of those, we have our website. It's www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. I think I got it. And so, so please, if you are able, I want to share there's a special Thanksgiving match going on. Um, Shayna Gregory, who's not quite back, she's on our board. She has she'll be back in mid-November, and to show her appreciation for New Thought Center, she has offered to match a matching challenge with our gifts. All donations put into the Koa Bowl starting today will be matched by Shayna up to $1,000. How beautifully, graciously giving of her to do that. So, if you can, give more so we'll get more. So you can do that either online or here, of course. So open up those piggy banks and find some loose coins under the sofa cushion and be generous you can. Make your donations go twice as far. And the challenge will go through the 24th of November. So so now we'll have Kumu do another lovely song while we pass the ball.
All right.
Okay.
And I wanted to share Hawaiian language begins tomorrow. It's going to be the second week. If you're interested in the Hawaiian language, we're at Outrigger Kona Resort and Spa in the Aloha Center. It begins at 6 o'clock to 7:30. We do an in-person, and then we also have classwork online as well. So I encourage the in-person because you learn better then. All right. E ke akua e ho'omalu e kamakuala ni e ke akua kuala ni e ke akua e kahaku ola e kamakuala ni e aloha e aloha mai e aloha nui e aloha e aloha mai e aloha nui e aloha e aloha mai e aloha nui
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Such a joy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes. So now we gather in a circle and sing our closing song.
All right. E Hawaii e ku'u o ne hanau e ku'u home kula I vine Oli no au I na pono lani o E Hawaii aloha E hau oli e na oki o Hawaii ne oli mai na ahe makani e pamai ne mau ke aloha no Hawaii e ha'i mai ko mau kini lani o ko makupa aloha e Hawaii na mea oli no kamaha o no luna mai E Hawaii aloha E hau oli e na oki o Hawaii ne oli mai na ahe makani e pamai ne mau ke aloha no Hawaii na ke akua e malama mai a oi ko mau kua lono aloha nei Ko mau ka Hawaii o lino mau. Ko mau mala Huanani e hau oli e nā o pi o hau Hawaii ne e oli mai nā ahe makani e pa mai ne mau ke aloha no Hawaii. Mau ke aloha no Hawaii. Mahalo. Yay. Yes. Yeah, they made it every twist. Every twist they put a. The third one.